strap the G5 jet. I'm on my way to a brand new kit.
Welcome back, eSIMstudios YouTube channel. A little early today, got a busy afternoon. That's why I won't be able to do the live stream normally scheduled at 2 p.m. We're doing it a little early today, so a little before schedule, which you'll rarely see here with eSIMstudios. But I hope everybody's having a good Tuesday. It is March the 17th, 2026. We're going to do a case giveaway. If we have a decent amount of people, we'll do a giveaway. If there's actually, you know what, we'll do a giveaway regardless, even if there's one person that enters, because I'm gonna hold myself to it. So you could be the lucky person. I'm not sure how many people we're gonna get in here today, since we are a little bit, a little early today, but I see a couple people are here. And then also have a story real quick that we're gonna get into. Hey, what's going on, man? Long time no see. I hope you're doing okay. We will do a case giveaway and an interesting Samsung story. What's going on, brother? Hope you're doing all right. We have an interesting Samsung story. Let me pull this up. Because it's going to give us a little insight into the future of Samsung, right? Which could incorporate you if you anticipate buying a future Samsung Galaxy device. Let me pull up my browser and move it over to the screen. Now, let me pull up this story here. Let's see. And then we'll do the case giveaway here. And I got to be out of here by 1:15 Central Standard Time. So it gives us roughly 20 minutes. Let's see here. So, I wanted to take a look. Hey, what's going on? Hope you're doing all right. Hope you're doing okay. Let's pull up this screen and let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. So, I came across this story literally just a few minutes ago and was reading it at my desk here right before I hit the live button. And it's interesting. It's going to give us it gives us an insight, kind of foreshadowing what we can expect with Galaxy phones. Look, you might have left Samsung. I know there's a lot of people I've been seeing in the comments that said, I left Samsung, I went to OnePlus because, kind of the same old with Samsung. And look, I totally get it. I'm a sucker for Samsung phones. Always have, always will be. I'll probably get the S27, the S28. You see what I'm saying? Just like with Pixel. I typically buy all the flagship Android phones. Like, I've kind of stepped back from Pixel because of their 200 charging cycle fiasco. But I was thinking yesterday, I'm probably still going to buy the Pixel 11 and just get rid of it after 200 charging cycles. But I understand. I'm not like everybody else. Most people just buy one phone and use that for a year or two and then move on to the next. But this is going to directly affect you if you're interested in Samsung. Yeah, real quick. Daniel's asking, how's everyone's battery in the S26 Ultra? It's pretty poor. Really? After a week? Now, you have to understand with me, with my S25 Ultra, it was historically bad. Like, really bad. Like, almost unbelievable bad. Like, I think in one of my videos a week or two ago, I was telling my battery life, and people are like, nah, you're lying. There's no way that it's that bad. And I'm like, yeah, it's that bad. Now, I was on the beta program, and I think it just, for whatever reason, drained my battery. So, me going from a historically bad battery life to it just an average battery life is a huge upgrade. So I was just thinking that yesterday. I was like, damn, my battery life's pretty good on here. Now, I've only had mine for roughly 4 or 5 days, so I'm gonna do an in-depth battery review probably later in the week, probably around Thursday or Friday, because I think that was about a week since I've had it. So mine seems okay, but I haven't really paid attention to it. So normally the first few days I don't even pay attention to it just because it's getting used to my usage. And I did get a notification yesterday saying that they're going to put a whole number of apps to sleep because I'm not using them, right? So I think that was yesterday. So I think starting today, I should really see how the battery life is, right? Your standby time isn't that good. Interesting. Running AccuBattery to see. Okay, so I can't do it today. Tomorrow, I'll do a video on enabling battery stats in ADB. If you're interested in that, it does give you an extra depth, more in-depth view of what's draining your battery. And there's a certain application I use specifically to really go in and look at the stats, see what's draining your battery. I'll probably do that tomorrow. So I'll put that on my schedule to do tomorrow. Because look, they've kind of scaled back on battery statistics, right? They've kind of like, I don't know, 5 years ago, even in the Nexus days, it seemed like there was more tools, more settings, a more in-depth view of your battery life, and now they kind of just mash it up all together. So enabling battery stats in ADB really helps to see what's draining your battery. If you have a kernel, if you have a wake lock, right, in your kernel, something like that. So I'll get into all that to the calendar tomorrow. Let's see. Battery life is fine if your settings are correct. People run their phones on max. Yeah, I don't. I know some people do. And yeah, you have to, if you're running max brightness, if you're running QHD, if you know, there's certain things that are battery drainers. That's certainly one of them. I've never been the one to run max brightness because I'm trying to extend my battery life, right? But yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it for sure. Pixels. Yeah, Pixels, OnePlus. It's probably because Samsung has more running in the background. Yeah, a little more time. That's what I'm saying. I'll probably get into that here later in the week. I'll do a video on how to enable battery stats and then in-depth view of the battery life. So getting back into this article, it kind of reminded me of the OnePlus article. Now, Samsung's not going to close shop, so let me just put that out there. Samsung's not closing their mobile division, right? But if there is anything, if there was one step under that, Samsung might be headed in that direction. Now, it's sort of bad news for those of y'all that are hoping Samsung to max out their specs. For those of y'all that are saying, we deserve more from Samsung. Why didn't Samsung put a UFS 4.1 storage in their phones? Why didn't Samsung put a 10-bit display in their phones? Why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? Well, it looks like you're still going to be asking those questions next year and the year after that, and the year after that, quite frankly, because I did not link this article down below. As I mentioned, I literally just came across it. However, when this stream is done, when this is over, as soon as it's over, I'm going to link it down below. So when this is over, come back to the stream, click the title, expand the description box. You're going to want to take a look at this article because it goes in depth to essentially foreshadow, look into the future a little bit of where Samsung mobile division is headed. And it's not pretty, meaning they're not going to just close shop, obviously, but Samsung is going to reduce its mobile division's budget next year by 30%. 30%. Now, with a big company like Samsung, look, I guess, do some homework and find out what their mobile division budget is. I'm sure it's in the hundreds of millions of dollars. So cutting it by a third is drastic. They're asking Samsung mobile employees, Samsung mobile division employees, they're not paying for first class anymore. They're asking people that are eligible to retire but are still staying on the company for medical health benefits, whatever retirement, stuff like that, pensions. Samsung's asking those employees that are eligible to retire to retire. Now, why? Why is Samsung doing this? Well, the cost of parts is drastically increasing. The cost of memory is drastically increasing. And Samsung is trying to find any which way to reduce costs as a company, not only in their mobile division, across the board. Because y'all know Samsung does washers and dryers, Samsung does refrigerators, air filters, they do robot vacuums, they do a ton of stuff. TVs, obviously, how could I forget that? Computers. They're not just asking their mobile division to try and cut costs. This is across the board. Now, it just so happens that their mobile division is probably one of their more important divisions when it comes to us and those that love mobile technology. But this is not good. Now, I was thinking, well, damn, they drastically outsold every other previous Galaxy device. So why is this coming out when they have record sales, right? Well, because I think Samsung knows this is not sustainable. I think we hit a perfect cycle, and I think we hit a perfect upgrade cycle where not a lot of S25 users upgraded, but you saw a ton of people with S24, S23, S22, S21, S20, Note 20, Note 20 Ultra. I think you saw a lot of those people upgrade. Now, what does that mean moving forward? That means moving forward, I don't think Samsung expects to see record sales with the S27 series. Now, that's the one I've been waiting for, the total redo, the total refresh. Now, because I've been hearing rumors, leaks that the S27, you're getting a total redo. You're getting all new hardware, literally all new camera sensors, upgrading the camera sensors. I would assume they would get a 10-bit display, but we don't know now. You're going to get the way it looks. You're going to get a refresh on the looks, all sorts of stuff. So that's why I've been saying for the last few months, if you're not really sure you want to upgrade, just hold out to the S27. With this report coming out, I'm not sure we're going to see that, quite honest. Now, you might still see a refresh in the way it looks. They may upgrade, 2 out of the 4 sensors or 3 out of the 4 sensors on the back instead of all 4. It looks like they're really, really going to be careful with what they spend their money on. This is a decent article. It's kind of eye-opening, and it's been reported by a South Korean publication. Now, this FNN News, I looked into it. They're a huge news publication in South Korea. As you know, Samsung home base is in South Korea. And they've been reporting on insider Samsung news for years. So this is not just some hit piece. This is not just some Android headlines is putting out, and this is Android Authority, but remember that OnePlus report that said they were dismantling? That was kind of a hit piece, an Android headlines hit piece, I think. Got a lot of backlash. No, this is actually from a South Korean publication. Android Authority is just reporting on that publication. So they're reporting Samsung is cutting Samsung mobile division budget by 30%. Samsung Electronics has entered in quote-unquote emergency management. This was done due to rising costs across the board, including RAM and semiconductors. This is another reason why I think you're going to see Samsung push really, really heavy the Exynos CPUs across the board in all Galaxy phones in a year or two. I think the rising costs with everything totaling up, if Samsung can just save $1 or $2 here or there, they're going to do it. Now, when it comes to the CPU, you can save about $90 per CPU. If they use an Exynos CPU over a Snapdragon CPU, $90 equates to hundreds of millions of dollars they can save. So believe me, if that opportunity's there, they're going to take it. So they're using this S26 and the Exynos 2600 CPU kind of like a test run, because this is their first true CPU on their new 2 nanometer GAA packing process. This is their wonder child. This is their greatest, latest invention, revelation that looks like they finally turned the corner. So they're going to use this Exynos 2600 that's in some of the S26 and S26 Plus models as a test run. If it gets good reviews, if you don't see a lot of people complaining online, if you see some good reviews on YouTube, I've watched one and it looks pretty good. And I definitely want to try to get my hands on one. But this is why you're going to see Samsung maybe put Exynos in all Galaxy devices, flagship Galaxy devices, a year or two before they want to. But quite frankly, because their parent Samsung company is going to push this. We have to save money. We have to do this. And saving $90 on each CPU, going with yours over going with a Qualcomm Snapdragon CPU, is enormous. We're talking hundreds of millions of dollars in savings. Trust me, they're going to be pushing this. So, look, I think they finally turned the corner. I know. We all know Exynos CPUs are trash. They overheat. Not this one. They turned the corner, and I truly believe that. So it says, while operating under emergency management, and by the way, we're gonna get through this here in just a second, and we'll do a case giveaway. While operating under emergency management, Samsung is reportedly looking to cut costs wherever possible. This includes measures such as booking economy flights for employees instead of business class or first class, and some workers to take early voluntary retirement. More importantly, it's reported that Samsung Device Experience Division, which includes Samsung Mobile, has been ordered to reduce costs by 30%. In other words, Samsung will have a significantly smaller budget for its Galaxy phones and upgrades in those phones moving forward. Or at least until the emergency management order ends. Look, the way the world is going right now, the way the economy is going right now, I don't see them getting out of emergency management anytime soon. With what's going on in the Middle East, oil, rising costs, storage crisis is rapidly increasing the prices. There is no light at the end of the tunnel right now. Like, in fact, that light at the end of the tunnel is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So, look, everything goes through cycles. Economy goes through cycles. But here's the thing. The dwindling economy and the cost rising, it may last for 5 or 6 years. I mean, I hope it doesn't, but theoretically it could, right? Go into a recession, you're looking at 8 to 10 years. So eventually I think we'll come out of this, but it may be 10 years from now. You see what I'm saying? So this doesn't look good for future Galaxy users like you and myself moving forward, or at least into the next few years, right? Because 5 or 10 years is pretty far down the road. I know it's not, but just looking into the next few Galaxy devices, the next few years, doesn't look so good. So how does that directly affect you? Well, that means we might not get the upgrades that we want when it comes to these Samsung Galaxy phones. That's what I'm trying to get at. So it looks like they might be trying to take a step back. It looks like they're going to be trying to cut costs wherever they can. So don't expect them to just go to a 10-bit display next year. Don't expect them to put Bluetooth back in the S Pen next year. Don't expect them to go with UFS 4.1 storage. They may have to just stay on 4.0 for a while. Probably stay on an 8-bit display for a while. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where they can cut costs. Samsung was screwed a few years ago. Mismanagement. Yeah, I need to look into that story where didn't one of them go to prison? One of the executives. I don't know. I can't remember, but I thought I saw that. Important, nothing can innovate but can't absorb the cost of parts. Big companies can't innovate and have to play it safe to maintain profit. Yeah, I was just thinking about that the other day. If nothing survives these next few years, and I think they will, if they can survive, and that's why it's so crucial they really need to hit on every phone. They really need to have decent revenue coming in. I think they can under good management. And I think Carl, I really like Carl as a person, and I think he's got his head on straight. And I think he has some intelligent people around him on the board and in the company. I think they'll be okay, but God, it has to be the profit margin we gets thinner and thinner every year. They make way too many phones. Yes, they do. Samsung sure does. 80% brightness and everything's pretty much turned on, and I get good battery life on my S23 Ultra. Well, you are lucky because I don't. Yes. Let's do this. I got to get out of here. Let's run a case review. So look, do y'all have S26? Okay, let's do this. We'll run a giveaway right now. I'm going to do an S26 Ultra case giveaway, right? If the winner does not have an S26 Ultra, I'll give you the option. Well, maybe I should say this. Whoever wins, I'll give you an option. You can take the case, or you can take $25 Amazon gift card. Does that sound good? I'm going to give away this CRAVE case. This CRAVE case right here. I think it's what? 25 bucks. We'll do this CRAVE case for the S26 Ultra. You don't have the S26? Well, if you win, as I mentioned, we'll do a Amazon gift card. There you go. There you go. Let's get that set up. So run hashtag case in the chat, hashtag case in the chat. If you win, you have the option. You can take the case, or you can take $25 on Amazon. Maybe I'll just do a Cash App. It's your choice, right? If you win, get with me on the back end and we'll figure it out. So run hashtag case in the chat. All right, got to get out of here. Okay, let me set this up. Oh, and I think my Nothing Phone 4A Pro, I checked on it yesterday. It originally said shipping out get it by the 27th of this month, but I got an update and it says by the 22nd now. So I think that's at the end of this week. So I need to check it here in the next day or two. It should ship. I paid for overnight shipping, so we should have it here by this weekend. Fingers crossed. Let me remove this. And let me pull up. Here we go. All right, you ready? There we go. All right, let's run this and we get at. Oh yeah, duh. I meant to do a story. I'll have to say that for tomorrow. That's what I was going to talk about. See, I've been such a rush this morning. I totally forgot what I had planned for the show. I think the Samsung news is a little bigger with their reduction in the budget for next year. I was going to do, we'll say this for tomorrow. The Z Fold 7 wide, we have more confirmed information on the dimensions of the screen, what it's going to look like. And then the end of the Tri-Fold already. They've already stopped sales after 3 months. So I was out when I saw the price tag and I saw that they weren't going to offer insurance on that device. I'm out. Anyways, we'll say that for tomorrow. So we'll do hashtag case. Ready? Oops, let me do lowercase. Semper Buffo 6067. Congratulations to you. I'll get with you on the back end, and it's your choice. I think you said you don't have an S26, but no problem. we'll figure it out. I'll send you a Cash App or an Amazon gift card, and you can buy a case or whatever you want for whatever phone you have. So appreciate the time. Yes, congratulations to you, and stay tuned. So I think at the end of this month, I'm going to purchase a CMF Phone 2 Pro, and we will do a giveaway for that CMF Phone 2 Pro this time next month. So we're going to start our phone giveaways for the eSIMstudios YouTube channel. It's been a long time coming. I've always wanted to do phone giveaways, and I'll promote it for a week or two and schedule the live stream early. So I look forward to giving a phone away. So appreciate the time, and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not. We do giveaways. I try to do them at least a couple times a week, and just have fun, be safe, enjoy the rest of the day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Yeah, I think I have your info. I literally have to jump in a car right now, so if I don't answer your email, give me about 30 minutes, but I'll get with you here shortly. Appreciate the time. Take care. Peace.